All right, guys, here we go again. This is a Super League Cup match. This is the first round we're in. I think it's the second round match. We're against Bordeaux, and this is only 3 days after our prior match, and you can see that we have a very similar squad. The reason why is because everybody's tired and half the players are injured. We're starting to come back from injuries, which is good. It would be nice if we could win this. And it looks like our section there is completely empty. I'm not quite sure what's up with that. Maybe people are tired of seeing us draw. Anyway, that last one, yesterday's match was a little bit disappointing. You can see all the injuries there down on the squad. We hope that we don't have another defensive mistake by Trésor. I kind of had to start him because Martinez was still showing up as injured, and of course, everybody's still tired. So 4 guys still with at least partial injuries, and yeah, let's see what we can do. See if we can mount an attack. Here's Eriksson, and he knocks us forward in front of our empty seats, and that is in. That is from Figueroa, and they're claiming that was offside. Could that have really been offside? Nope, there was not. I didn't think that was even close to being offside. I mean, how is that offside? In what universe do you think that would look anything like being offside? So, I mean, it's not even close, right? It's not close at all. It was Trésor that was aimed for, and Figueroa jumped up right in front of him and took the shot away. So it was 1-0 for United. Here's Maradona winning that and then knocking it back to the defender and then winning it again. Figueroa over to Mount. Maradona's kind of, he wants to handicap himself. He's so good. Sancho, right side, back to Casemiro, up to Eriksson. Eriksson takes the shot, and that was almost a goal. That came very, very close to going in. So still 1-0 for United here in the early going. It would be nice to get a second goal. I remember back when we could do that. Yashin watches that one hammer off the post and goes over and catches it. So good job of goalkeeping by him. But like I said, it would be nice if we could get the ball back and do something positive instead of just standing back and letting them have it. And there is Ellis with an attack on goal, and that is knocked out. No, we do have a section. Look at that. Our fans are right behind the goal, and there's a whole bunch of empty seats there. So apparently we weren't very interested in making the trip all the way down to France. I think that what's really going on is it's that fixture congestion. That's the thing that people are getting a little bit tired of. And I tell you, that's one of those things about the World Super League that you have to realize going into it, and I've done a pretty bad job of putting the squad together. You have to make sure that you don't just have an A team and a B team, but you really need to have as many as 3 players for each position. You need to have young players as well, so you can rotate them in to avoid this sort of thing from happening. Eriksson almost scores a goal from that free kick. Maradona with it, and he's just flattened, and there's no call. Monzegli over to Sancho. I mean, that was a American football tackle. Eriksson passes that forward to Mount, and he misses the goal entirely. I'm not quite sure how he managed to miss that, but so it is. But this right here, let's see if we're going to see it. And I think it was before this part of the highlight. Maradona was completely flattened, and it's kind of a shame that there wasn't a call for that because, I mean, it wouldn't have been a penalty necessarily, but, I mean, you would imagine at least a yellow card for running over a guy like that. It looked like he got hit by a steamroller. Law tries to find Maradona, can't. Figueroa heads this one out, and it's still in there. It's knocked away again. Mount, and then Trésor finally knocks it back. And yet Trésor has managed once again to find an opposing player. It's P2 in the end with the header, and that's up and above the goal, and so that's relatively safe for us. And we go to halftime. So just like yesterday, today it's only about 4 minutes before we get to halftime. It's a nice contrast to the way that things have been for the other save. Here's Mount, and he's fouled right away. You can see that Bordeaux's plan is to try to foul us as frequently as possible, which is funny because we're doing a lot of fouling ourselves. Mount gets to this one and kicks it and ends up going just about nowhere. So much for that attempt. And let's see what we can do here. Johnson knocks it backwards, ends up being won by Trésor to Figueroa to Maradona. He's got Mount behind the defense. And unfortunately, I mean, Mount wasn't that far ahead of everybody, and they caught up with him in the end. But yeah, Maradona here, excellent pass, first time to Mount. And he's looking okay, and then he sort of slows down a little bit, and there wasn't much of an angle for him to shoot from anyway. But I guess it was worth a try. Trésor goes back and wins this again. We've seen a lot of this where we're winning the ball. We're faster than the other team, despite our fatigue. we're just losing our concentration as the matches keep going. Mount almost gets himself sent off. There's Maradona with the goal. He gets that from Dennis Law. So now it is 2-0 for Manchester United. That's a little bit more like it. We're only in the 47th minute, by the way. So all of that has happened in the space of like 2 minutes. So this is pretty good. At least there's one competition that we'll be able to stay in. You can see that the game is having a hard time again, and there's a lot of jittering going on as usual. Hopefully we'll be able to get rid of that. And again, I'm not quite sure what causes that here, but it's all right. And we have another kickoff, and let's see if we can't get this match back into high octane, into high gear. Ronaldo runs back, wins that over to Figueroa. Monseglio over to Casemiro, back to Ronaldo. Good passing in the back, and then Ronaldo just gives it up for nothing. And so Yashin is forced to make another very good save. I don't know why it's so hard for these guys to play wing back when they're usually playing winger. Figueroa with the header, but that's probably offside, I think. It looked like he went forward a little bit too early. You're going to take a look. And that's awarded. So I guess he was good, and that makes it 3-0 now for United. And Figueroa, in a crowd of purple, ends up winning that anyway and scores. So there you go. We'll take a look here and see. Yeah, he was onside. He was onside. That's a pretty good call. He had a guy right next to him who was a step ahead. And so it's 3-0 for United, and we'll be able to make some substitutions here, probably around the 60-minute mark. It's Michelin over to another one of Bordeaux's players. They're kind of kicking it around here a little bit in the back. And the graphics continue to stutter on me. Ellis here with it, and he takes a shot. It's saved. Ronaldo knocks it off of a attacking player for a goal kick. So I'm not sure that Cristiano intended to do that, but that's what happened in the end. Lev Yashin ends up grabbing this out of the sky, and we're just about to the 60-minute mark. That's when we're going to finally make the changes. Figueroa over to Monseglio, Casemiro, Law, Sancho. Sancho brings it up right side, finds Law. Back to Tresor, over to Eriksson, Maradona, Eriksson, and the shot goes straight at the defender. But Monseglio wins in the back to Eriksson again. Over to Maradona, he's got Casemiro, who takes a shot and scores. 4-0 for United, assuming that stands, and it will. I mean, they're not even looking at VAR for that one. So it's 4-0 for United. Pretty easy, pretty simple, and this was a goal which is more like what I was expecting from this team at the beginning. So Maradona over to Casemiro, and I mean, there's just not much that the defense can do to stop that. Good teamwork, and we're starting finally to see things roll along. Maradona is onside, and yeah, that ball is right in front of Casemiro, so it's good, it's clean. So now we go, and we'll make our substitutions and see what we want to do here. Casemiro is looking pretty tired, so Pogba will come on. Let's see. We want to put De Vici on probably for Tresor, who's had a real rough time. We'll put Pele back on for Maradona, who looks really tired. And I just want to do a fourth one if possible. Trying to see. How about Martinez can come on for Figueroa? There we go. All right, and let's see how far we can get and hope that there's not too much stuttering left here in the game and in this match. As I said, it would be nice to get a win because we've had a hard time buying a win here the last couple of matches. We've had a lot of draws here this part of the season, lots of draws, and of course we had the couple of defeats. I think it was 2 defeats in the league, and we've had 2, I think, in the Champions League as well. And that's a goal back for them. It's Alain Gures who scores that one, and that looked pretty good. That's pretty poor by our defense here to sort of let them have this much width and this much space. And who is this? Is supposed to be on Monseglio, playing way off of his man, and not very good. 4-1 though. It's not the end of the world. Jadon Sancho's just about to fall apart. We don't really have anyone to come on for him though. That's the problem that we have. Sancho now with the throw over to Pogba, back to Sancho. Knocks it forward for Pele, and his header is just high and just wide. So that'll be the end of that attack. De Vici wins this, looking for Mount, ends up over Sancho's head. He doesn't look right. That didn't look good. Yashin ends up making the stop, which is what we were expecting, but that didn't look particularly good at all. Another attack for them, and Yashin has to grab that one out of the air again. So 4-1 the score. I don't anticipate that they're going to come back all the way. There's a throw over to De Vici. De Vici brings it forward. Eriksson Pele. Up to Sancho. Sancho forward to Pogba, and Pogba scores, and that's got to be good. Got to be onside, and it is. And so that will be 5-1 for Manchester United, and everybody's getting on the score sheet here in this one. Good pass to Sancho, and Sancho, who's totally beat, finds Pogba in a crowd. We had about 4 different guys that could have gotten to that one, and we end up scoring, and all is right with the world once again. And we have, yet again, another highlight. So we've scored a number of goals here very, very quickly. And we're kind of just hoping for this match to end so we can get at least a little bit of rest for these players. De Vici wins that over back to Levi Yashin. Mason Mount goes running after this one. He ends up winning it in the end over to Pele. Apologies for the stuttering. Again, I don't know what causes that. Ronaldo now with this. Ronaldo moves up over to Pogba and on to Mason Mount, who takes a shot. And unfortunately for us, that one doesn't quite slip through. So we only have a couple of minutes here left in the match. Martinez now with the throw over to Mount. Back to Martinez. Monseglio to Martinez again. And he passes back to Levi Yashin. Levi Yashin with this over to Martinez. And Pele back to Martinez. Pele, of course, the big disappointment so far. It's been a long time since he scored. Yashin again back to Martinez over to Eriksson, and it's lost. And then Ronaldo wins this. Knocks it forward for Pele. And Pele with a very good crossing pass over to Pogba, who ends up exploding a little bit too much on this, so that ends up with nothing. But there was a call. There was a foul, I think, that was called beforehand. Eriksson takes this free kick. Ends up over everyone's head, and then Pele wins this and is fouled. No, he's not. They're not going to call that. Should have been fouled for a penalty there in the penalty box. I'm not sure why that wasn't called. That looked pretty blatant to me, if you ask me. Take another look at this over here. This is where that call came in. And, yeah, that's where it was. And, yep, that was a free kick. That was pretty blatant, I thought. Here we go with just a couple of minutes left. Eriksson knocks this one forward, ends up doing just about nothing. And Dennis Law is able to win it off of his man. This tricks forward, almost goes in. Very, very good goal line save there. Lunging forward is the Bordeaux defender. Pogba to Ronaldo over to Pele. Pele plays with it over to Ronaldo. Martinez now. Back to Monseglio in the center, over to Pogba. Pogba to Law to Mount, and Mount finds Eriksson, and that's forward, looking for Pogba. I'm not sure why Pele didn't run up and grab that one himself. I feel like he's playing a little bit too selflessly, a little bit too willing to let somebody else do all the work. And so Ronaldo throws this one in, can't find Mason Mount. That's going to be the end of the match anyway. There's not much you can do here. And we're going to end up winning this one 5-1. So this was a much better performance for us. I'm not sure why we fall apart in the Champions League. Only a 1.56 XG, but 7 shots on target, 5 of them in for goals. That's not bad. You can't argue with that. Talk to you again tomorrow then. Bye.